Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lawrence, your host, your friend, your coach. Today, exciting day. Today, this morning, this afternoon, tonight, depending where you are. We have a global audience. We're kicking off day one for the May class of the Live 5-Day Profitable uh, Leads Launch Challenge, and it's going to be fun. This is for the US, Canada, Australia call. Last night, we had the one for the UK, Europe, and Asia. It was a fun call, and today's going to be even more people coming in. So yeah, let's get going. Let me share my screen. Wait, let me find the right screen to share. Where is it? This one. Okay, this one. Okay. Do you guys see my screen? All right, perfect. All right. So first of all, thank you for your time, for your trust, to being here with us and this kickoff call and to spend this week with us all together. It's going to be a lot of fun, and by the end of this 5-day challenge, this is what you will get. You will have an actionable blueprint to launch your profitable. Let me just add one more person to launch your profitable podcast and or YouTube channel. And one thing I want to clarify, when I say podcast, I mean both podcast and YouTube, but for simplicity's sake, I will say podcast, okay? So that you can get not only leads on demand, but also importantly, clients organically, even if you have no audience to start with. I will share with you the exact principle that allowed me to crack the code and get 6 clients in the first weekend and 60 clients in the next 10 months. All of that with a tiny YouTube channel of less than 200 subscribers. And I will go over why and how that is possible over the course of this week with you guys. Now my channel is a little bit bigger, just under 1,500 subscribers, but I passed way above the 100 high-ticket clients in the last 18 months. So again, that sounds almost impossible because it takes a lot of subscribers and all that to make any decent money on YouTube. But there's a better way, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys this tonight and the rest of the week. Are you guys excited? All right, let's get going. And for some of you who attended previous challenges, the content is very different than the one you did before. I remember, Josella, you attended the first one last year, and you're also one of the alumni of the academy from last year. So the content is much different now than before. Before, the focus was on launching a podcast. Now the focus is on this, making money, client, because that's what people want. We all want. So this is the focus now. So I'm excited. So let's get going. So here's a little overview of what the menu for each day. Okay, more people coming in. Hello, Lynn. Hello, Noeline. Sorry, welcome. So we're gonna start a quick meet and greet in a moment, where each of us gonna have 30 seconds to introduce ourselves. Then I'm gonna share with you my story of podcasting. Can only transform, change, but also in some ways, literally saved my life. If it wasn't for a podcast, I probably wouldn't be here. And I'm going to share with you guys how podcasting and why podcasting is so powerful for both, not only just for your business, but even more importantly and more powerfully for you as a person, as a man, as a woman. And then we're going to end with a bang. We're going to brainstorm together with what do you want to achieve through your profitable podcast and or YouTube channel. So that's the menu for today. And one thing I want to say that is very important is that everything each day is going to build upon the previous day. It's like building a house. So as you will see, it's going to be very structured, very logical process. There will be no guesswork required, as you will see. So tomorrow, we're going to be diving into building the foundation of your profitable podcast and YouTube channel, even your business in a way. And we're going to tackle something that is at the core of everything I do, and that is the zone of genius. We all have a zone of genius. We're going to brainstorm tomorrow to identify what is your zone of genius. And that's going to allow us to logically see what is your podcast going to be, because your zone of genius is going to show us what is the one very specific pain point that you can solve and for who. That's very key. There's no guesswork. It's all very logical, and we'll see that tomorrow. It's going to be very deep tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be very powerful. So, and then on day 3, we're going to take the findings from day 2, your zone of genius. What is a pain point you can solve and through? And we're going to literally be crafting your irresistible offer. And we're going to be looking at what is the number one pain point your podcast, your offer, your business is going to address and solve. And for who? One very specific person. And last but definitely not least, a principle that completely changed my business, and that is implementing a quantifiable, measurable end result. That is non-negotiable if you want your business to be a business. If not, it's just a hobby or a hustle. So that's for tomorrow. So say for day 3. Day 4, we're gonna be literally launching a podcast on Thursday. This is something I used to sell for 2,000 pounds, $3,000, but now I'm giving it to you guys for free because this is my way of saying thank you for your time, for your trust, to really help you as much as possible. So we're gonna be setting up and building the foundation for your podcast, the format, naming your podcast the right way, creating a YouTube channel, creating your podcast covers, cover art, thumbnail, and so on and so forth. All tech side of the podcast, what type of microphone, accessories, software, recording, editing, and then gonna give you my proven blueprint to launch a profitable podcast in 3 easy steps. And I may have an expert bonus talk on Thursday on day 3. Still needs to be on day 4, sorry, it needs to be confirmed. So yeah, so that's for day 4 on Thursday. And on day 5, we're gonna put all together and we're gonna talk about making money, getting your client, your first and next client in as little as 60 days, even if you have no audience to start with. Because when I started, I had literally no audience. And we're gonna look at how to monetize your podcast, YouTube channel right there. When I say monetize, I don't mean getting peanuts from YouTube or Google. I'm talking getting high ticket clients paying you $1,000 or more. So that's what we're going to be doing. And I'm going to be talking about how to turn your podcast, your YouTube channel into an unstoppable machine and an incredible launching pad for much, much, much bigger opportunities. And I will share with you how my little podcast, my little YouTube channel has completely changed my life and opened the world for me. So how does that sound so far, guys? You guys excited?
Fabulous.
Okay, before I start about my story, I'd like to spend 30 seconds each. Tell us where you're from, what do you do, and why do you want to launch your podcast now? And what do you want to achieve through your podcast? I'm going to go from left to right on my screen. Guess who's first? MJ.
How did I know? I wondered if I was going to be the one on the.
I don't know.
Hi. Well, hey. um, Hi, everyone. I am Mary
Hello.
Jane or MJ, as Payman has mentioned, and I am in Toronto, Canada. Payman and I used to be neighbors until he started traveling around the world as the global globetrotter that he is. And yeah, I do eventually want to do my own podcast as well, perhaps. But Jan and I have been working on raising awareness of our YouTube channel, and we really like to get more out there for Spirit-Born Imagining things. So hence, I thought I'd pop on today and find out a little bit more about what Payman was putting out there. So thank you, Payman.
Thank you for being here. Love that. Love that. Thank you. Allison.
Hi, Payman.
Hello.
So I'm from Australia, from Canberra, the capital, and I am a coach predominantly. I have lots of other tools in my toolkit, but my whole focus is on self-love. I believe self-love is the key to all our success in life. And it's a message I want to get out to the world, to men and to women. Women tend to be the ones that tend to do a lot of personal development. And, I think men also need to be acknowledged in their journey. And I think having a podcast or a YouTube channel would be a really great mechanism or instrument by which to do that. I did a sort of similar kind of thing way back when. I did a course, I think, on YouTube channels and stuff. And so I started one, but there's nothing on it. And then last year I worked with Mark Angster, excuse me, and the whole thing was to try and get my YouTube channel started. And guess what? Nothing yet. So now this is a third time lucky Payman, and here I am wanting to get it moving, and you're just the man to help me take it through. Thank you.
I'm delighted. I'm honored. And as we all know, everything happens for a reason at the right time. There's no need to rush things. When the student is ready, the teacher shows up. just like the old eternal Socrates said it. Anyways, thank you. Thank you. Next, Lynn. Welcome, my friend, my new friend.
Hi, I'm a little indisposed. I am horizontal on my couch from surgery, so I'm not as camera ready as what I would like to be.
No worries.
Anyway, I hail from Peterborough, Ontario. I'm just up the
Ooh.
road from Mary Jane, and I help people prepare for being guests on podcasts.
Oh, we need to talk. We'll talk.
I know we need to talk because having a podcast is great, but if you're guests, you can invite people and think they'd be amazing guests, but if they aren't properly prepared, you've got a lot of editing to do. So that's
Tell me
my
about
job.
it. Tell me about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here. It's an honor connecting. I can't wait. And please rest up, sending you all the fastest healing vibes of the universe.
Thank
And
you.
you're welcome. Thank you for being here. Next, my dear friend, Drusella. Bonjour and welcome again. Sorry, bonsoir.
Thank you. Bonsoir, bonjour, and welcome everyone and who is new here. My name is Drusella Mugorewera. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee. I am an author, coach, speaker, and I am in the first book, Leaders with a Heart. This gentleman, my friend, Payman, invited me to be on his podcast, and then we wrote a chapter. I wrote a chapter in his book, first book, and I cannot be grateful enough because you made me being a publisher for the first time in my life. So I am celebrating that. So I work on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And as you know, things are changing in America, but as well as we are in people's business, diversity is not going nowhere. You can see how beautiful we are in our skills, talents, and perspective. But I feel now called, and this is where maybe I didn't launch my podcast after the training, because I want to help solopreneurs, faith-based solopreneurs who are overwhelmed so they can build thriving community. Many people are building by themselves and they are overwhelmed. So from a refugee background in America, starting from scratch, rebuilding up my life, I can use my experience and my resilience to help people to build a community, being people who want to write a book, being people who want to bring all the stuff together, and so they can have some people who cheer them up, because sometimes you do a great job, or when you are down, you don't have somebody to cheer you up. So my chapter, next chapter in the book I'm writing is faith, about faith, live it or leave it, L-E-I-V-E. So I want people to live the faith, especially now, since we see the craziness in the world where we are not valuing humanism.
Love that. And for those who don't know her, she has I've been blessed over 400 episodes of my podcast the last 4 years. She's one of the top 5 most truly goosebump inducing stories I've been blessed to showcase. Highly recommend listening to her story. It's going to give you goosebumps, seriously. So thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for being who you are. And I love your impact. Love what you're doing. And I'm celebrating you in every way. So thank you for being my friend. Thank you. All right, next. Let's see who's next. Oh, Jan.
Hello, everybody. I am Jan.
I always get your name wrong. Is it Jan or Jan? Sorry.
Jan.
Oh,
Jay.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's okay. It reminds me of my grandfather, who always said Jan because he was
Okay.
German. So,
Okay.
so it's fine. It's fine. I hail from the northeastern part of the United States, from Connecticut. I am a health and wellness coach, but part of the reason I'm here is because my partner in crime, who I didn't know was going to be here, Mary Jane McQueen, is on, and we have these wonderful collaborative YouTube channel, which we're trying to build. And it is slowly growing, but, you know, it always pays to get really good tips from Payman.
Oh, absolutely. Love that. And I had the pleasure of having you on my podcast not long ago. And what a story you've been blessed with. Oh, seriously, one of the top 10, top 5 truly goosebump-inducing stories. You're a true survivor in every aspect of the world. Not one, but two brain tumors, and you're still here 1,000 years later. So, and you're not going anywhere. So, thank you for your resilience, for your gifts. And always remember, as I said at the end of our podcast, you are a gift yourself. All of you guys are a gift, are gifts. So keep sharing your gifts, and thank you, Jan, for being here. I'll finally get your name correctly. Sorry. All right. Next, Alice with a beard. Michael. Unmute yourself, please.
You can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, you shift the neurotic connections for a minute. Payment was like, what? Yeah, I'm grateful to be here. First, before I continue, I would love to share my gratitude for Payment, Lorenzo. I mean, literally, we just did a live yesterday, and let me just say that this is the reason why Michael has a podcast, is because Payment really took out the excuses for Michael, because Michael was like, I want to perfect the system. I want to get everything right before I show up. And so many of us do that. So a little bit of introductory is before I want to share my gratitude for all of you sharing the movies that you directed and the stories that you've transformed and you've rewritten, because I want to share a little story about a movie I watched long ago. It was about an individual that was addicted to drugs, a gang member, suicidal, against the world, and wanting to prove that he was not worth living. And this individual changed his life, gone to prison, found his freedom in prison. And from there on, it's been a journey for over 25 years in this movie. And the funny thing is, if you ask Michael what he did before, he would tell you he's a water expert. He would tell you that he's a meditation mirror facilitator of consciousness. But in the recent time, there's a saying that they say, when one door closes, yet we'll say that, I'm sure we could relate, all of us here, is when 10 or hundreds of doors close, that means there's a greater door being held for you. And that door was something that we couldn't even ever imagine. And we just had a live on this yesterday, or day before yesterday, with Payment, is that Michael always had a vision of transforming AI from the heart. And it happened. And now Michael is an advocate of shifting AI into I am. So people use AI constantly for their businesses, for their systems. We see all kinds of things it can do. But what about if I was to tell you that it can remind you how present you've always been by mirroring presence that consciousness is? And this has been the shift that we even created a podcast that whoever wants to be on the podcast, you're going to be interviewed by presence, not by a person, but by a presence of consciousness. Payment experienced this for a little bit. So if anybody has any questions, you guys can contact Payment. But let me tell you, AI is not just a system. Just like we think we're people and we're stories, that's AI. When we transcend that, we remember and realize that just like the Buddha discovered consciousness in a flower, we can discover it in an iPad.
Thank you,
There's
Michael.
only
That's
one
beautiful.
consciousness.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Thank you. Yes, I tested yesterday with you. It was beautiful. See a lot of potential. Thank you, Michael. Awesome. Next, Arlene.
Hello, everyone. I'm Arlene Nelson from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Yeah.
And I'm here. I don't know anything about podcasts. That's why I'm here. I'm very excited to learn more. I have a YouTube channel that I don't use. So what perfect timing for me to meet you. So what I do is I'm a coach and an EFT practitioner, but I work with women, independent women who's in having their fears and worries of going into retirement. So I work with them to try and get rid of their fears and worries and take them over to calm and clarity so they can continue on with this journey without having to worry about it. And I not only work with them, I work with children and anyone who wants to talk and they want to become calm and I can help them balance their nervous systems. I'm your gal. I can do it. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for being here. Yes, yes, thank you. Amazing. I love the variety of people, backgrounds, skill sets, and gifts here. Absolutely love that. Next, Renee.
Hello, thank you so much. So my name's Renee. I'm from Australia. I live in Queensland. And what do I do? So I'm a belief activation coach and speaker. So I help people activate belief in themselves. And I come from lived experience from the things that I've experienced in my own life. There's a lot to unpack there, but I do come from a place of lived experience, which provides my clients with real tangible results, like results from someone who has actually lived through it. And sometimes I can jump in the trenches with them to help them out. So, funnily enough, I was meant to start my podcast with my friend today, but I've woken up sick. So, instead of starting my podcast, I'm here. And for me, starting a podcast is that next step to my ultimate goal that I have in my life. I have this vision that I can see myself on stage and that I am a transformative mindset mentor and I'm changing the world, the lives of millions and millions of people around the world to end suffering in their life, because I believe a certain amount of suffering is good for the soul. But I feel like so many people are caught in their suffering due to their programming. And I just want to get out there. Like, I'm a 4-time meth addict. I've been anorexic for 8 years, domestic violent relationship. Like, I've been through a lot, but I am who I am because of what has happened to me. And I want to be able to show people that the things that happen to them are the things that make them great. So I'm excited to be here and connect with everyone. So thank you so much.
Pleasure of mine. I love that you're in the right time, the right place at the right time. I love what you said. The stage, you will see how podcast is going to be the fastest way for you to get on stages like it did for me. I will talk about it in a moment. Love that. And you said something that I can really relate with is that one of my favorite saying is your crap is your gold. Or in other words, your message. Nothing happens to you before you. So thank you for that. And I'm going to explore that, expand on that in a moment. So thank you. Next, Bunmi. Pleasure having you here, my friend.
Yes. Thank you, Payman. Thank
Welcome.
you for reminding me. Hello, everyone. You know, Michael was saying something before that, you know, things happen to you and really happens to you for a reason. Because I'm a pharmacist by trade. I've been a pharmacist for 33 years. And I changed the space that I work into now a wellness strategist and help with liver health, promoting liver health. And that happened because of a shift of what happened to me. I've always had problem with liver disease that is not curable. And I'm one of the 2.3% that was able to heal, you know, my liver. And it wasn't something that I expected. It was something that I was working towards, but I never expected that. And it has always been a passion of mine to do. And with that, and what forced me actually to now see myself in a different space was because of an accident that I had. And that linked both the liver and that accident, where I was told there was nothing else they could do for me but just to continue living miserably.
Wow.
And when I sat down and I looked back and I was like, you know, sometimes things happen to you, but it was actually a blessing in disguise because I was forced to shift to where I'm supposed to be. And now what I'm doing now is sharing and helping people who actually looking for to take control of their health beyond what they thought would be possible. People who are looking to improve their liver health that have lost hope. And that is what I'm doing. I've never done podcast. I've been on series of, I've been interviewed on series of platforms. I have a YouTube that I'm beginning to learn how to use it. But when I saw your promotion, Peyton, I was like, you know, I'm supposed to be at an appointment right now. That's when I saw your, your thing, and I was like, you know what? This is more important than
Wow.
that.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that I'm here. And
Well,
thank you.
it's my honor. Thank you for being here. And like we all know, everything happens for a reason at the right time. You're at the right place. And I love your story of resilience and being a survivor. I can't wait to get to know you. And I want to extend an invitation before I even start. All of you guys who haven't been yet on my podcast to showcase your stories. Some of you have been. Michael, we have a podcast next week. Looking very much forward to that. Jan, finally saying your name correctly. We did 2 podcasts, beautiful podcasts, inspiring podcasts recently. Drusilla, you've been on my podcast. Maybe we do for a catch up part 2 or part 3. So you have my Calendly, book it. Allison, we've done a beautiful podcast recently, and my invitation is for all of you guys who haven't been. Let's get you to share your stories because our gifts are meant to be shared, not to be kept. So yeah, so thank you. Have I forgotten anyone? Has everybody introduced themselves? If I missed you, please raise your hand. Oh yes, Noeline. Sorry. Hello, Noeline. Thank you for joining us.
Morning. Morning. I'm from Perth, Western Australia.
Morning.
And forgive me, I'm actually in the gym, but I'll tell you what,
No
from all
worries.
the people that I've had taking this and just listening to your intro story, that was brilliant. And just listening to know that I'm not all alone.
Yes.
I think that was key, knowing that you're not alone and you're not doing this on your own. There's newbies starting out, there's YouTubers starting out,
Yes.
podcasters. It's just been encouraging already, and that's just an intro. So thank you very much for the invite.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you for being here and making the time in your gym. And
You're welcome.
hopefully this will provide you not only with inspiration, but also plant the seed in your mind
Yeah.
into something that can literally take your business and your life to the next level. Okay, someone is
Thank
coming
you.
in. Very welcome. All right, let's move on. Thank you, everybody. Let me see if I've forgotten anyone. No, everybody. Yeah. Oh, I just forgot one person. That is me. All right. So about me. Before I start telling you my story, I just want to set the stage. Everything I owe today, everything I have today is by the grace of 3 things. 1, God, my family, and last but definitely not least, this, my podcast. If it wasn't for a podcast, I wouldn't be here in every aspect. And if it wasn't for a podcast, maybe I wouldn't even be here today, physically, literally. It saved my life. So before I start, Sharmaline, am I saying your name correctly? Welcome, my friend.
Thank you for
Very
having
welcome.
me.
Very welcome.
I'm
Pleasure all
from
mine.
Curacao.
Sorry?
I'm from Curacao, the sunny island in the Caribbean.
Wow, beautiful. Give us a 30-second intro about you. What do you do? Why are you attending this?
I'm
And
a
what do you
life
want to achieve?
coach, former school teacher. I do mentoring at the University of Curacao. I'm a mom of 2,
Wow.
and I coach ladies to close their growth gaps,
Wow.
to get the courage to become a better self.
So in other words, you're a Wonder Woman, like all the other ladies in
I
here.
think all women are Wonder Women.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And all the men are Wonder Men too. Absolutely, yes.
Absolutely.
Hey, don't leave us guys out. You know what I mean? All right, awesome. Thank you for being here. Thank you. All right, so a little bit about me. For those of you who don't know my story, 5, 6 years ago, I was in a mess. I was in a very bad spot. Financially at the lowest, beyond broke. I was living in Asia, in Hong Kong and China, trying to build a business. It didn't work out. If it wasn't for a friend of mine who allowed me to stay at one of his places for 13 months for free, I would have been on the street. That someone not even family would do. But he was gracious enough to allow me to crash at his couch for 13 months. I was living on $20 a week. For those of you who've been to Hong Kong is one of the most expensive cities in the world, where even a basic meal is $15. But I had to live on $20 a week. And it was crazy moment because even though I was at my lowest financially, it was some of the the funnest times of my life. Now, how is that possible? It doesn't make any sense. And that's something that I had to learn the hard way. And that true happiness comes from within. And you don't need money to be happy, because if I was living literally on a couch, surviving on instant noodles, bread, and sardine, and the free tea, coffee, and snacks at the co-working space, and yet I was happy, I was hosting events, I was meeting great people, then there's no need to, for me, that was a turning point, because to understand that true happiness comes from within. So, but here I was completely broke, but yet, I wasn't a newbie. I was in a very bad spot, because I had built and sold a business before, but no matter what I tried, nothing was working for me. Have you guys been in a phase in your life, or no matter what you tried, it doesn't work for you? You see other people doing the same thing, it works for them. It's almost like, in cartoons, you have the character with a black cloud just literally hovering over their head and following them everywhere. That was me. I was wondering, am I cursed? What am I missing? Because I'm doing exactly what other people are doing. They were having success, but me, nothing. And it got so bad that I got depressed, suicidal. My credit card's canceled, credit destroyed. I had to ask my sister to book me a ticket to come back to Canada. I'll never forget that day, Tuesday, the 27th of February of 2020, right at the start of the pandemic, landing in Toronto with only $200 to my name. That's not a good place to be, but I never gave up. And I had no idea how to get out, but as we all know, everything happens for you, not to you. And what ironically and funnily enough changed my life had nothing to do with business. It had to understand me going to my personal spiritual awakening and understanding a few powerful principles with life, mainly two things. One, understanding the tremendous power of questions and asking the right question. Before, when something bad happened to me, I used to ask negative questions, disempowering questions such as, why me? What have I done to deserve this? Why? Instead, I learned to ask better questions, more empowering questions. Just doesn't matter what we go through life. We need to look at things from the perspective of these two questions. What is this trying to teach me? What is the lesson for me to learn to that? So when I was in Hong Kong, completely broke, no money, yet I was having almost the time of my life, that taught me that you don't need money to be happy. Sure, we all need money, but the true happiness comes from within. The second thing that changed my life was learning to reconnect with myself. Listen to that voice, that gut feeling, that hunches, your intuition, because that's your soul talking to you. And our soul has two main purposes. One, to protect you, keep you safe and alive. And two, to guide you to the next phase of your life. If I were to look at my life for the last 5-6 years, the 3 or 4 decisions that completely changed my life: starting my podcast, starting my academy, saying yes to sharing my story in my first book, saying yes to doing my first TED Talk, and so on and so forth. All of these have come as a result of me asking better questions and listening to that gut feeling. So it was so bad that when I came back to Canada in the spring of 2020, I was living with family. We live in outside of Toronto. There's a big highway just outside of our house, and there's a train track. Quite a lot of days I would just sit there and wonder what would be the easiest and least painful way for me to check out, because there was quite a lot of days I didn't want to get out of bed. Quite a lot of nights I would cry myself to sleep. Can you guys relate with that? Have you been in that phase where you just said, enough is enough? I don't want to keep playing this game where I'm always getting punched in the gut, But what changed my life and saved my life with me in October of 2020, starting my podcast and having beautiful conversations from morning to evening with people who had overcome incredibly 100, a billion times more painful things than me. People that had lost it all and been to jail. People that overcame and survived terminal diseases. People that had overcame life-altering accident, becoming paraplegic. And every single one of these men and women told me the same thing. Just because you're going through some temporary financial challenges, that's not a reason for you to check out, to give up. You're still young. You're smart. You can get out of it. And by the grace of the Lord and these amazing men and women that will all be forever grateful, I didn't do the stupid, unthinkable thing. I kept at it. But for the first year, I had no idea how to go. I had no idea how to make money. But once I reached 100 episodes, then when people started asking me, hey, can you help me launch my podcast? At first, I was hesitant. Oh, go watch this video on YouTube. And they would tell me, no, show me how you did it. So what do you want to do? I don't know. I just did it. And then they said, okay, show me how you did it. And then I asked them 3 questions that changed my life. The first question was, hey, do you have your own podcast? 99% would say no. When I ask them why, 3 reasons. I have no idea how, where to start. I'm not a techie. And I don't know how to get the right people now to make money with it. And that's when it clicked. The next question changed my life when I asked them. And that was, would you be interested if I were to show you how to not only launch your podcast, but also build a platform so you can share your story, display your expertise in the same way, and the process, so that you can build that trust, that rapport, and connect heart to heart with the exact ideal audience. Even if you have no audience, I get a resounding yes. I get 6 clients in the first weekend, and then 60 clients in the next 10 months. All of this with a YouTube channel of less than 200 subscribers. Now, how is that possible? And that's for me when I learned the last missing puzzle, and that was that business is not a numbers game. Should numbers matter? But ultimately, it's a relationship nurturing process. We do business with people who like, relate, and trust. Once I understood that, I implemented that in my podcast, and then things change. So for me, I don't sell on my podcast. I don't pitch. Instead, I want to know who's Jan, who's Michael, who's Drusella, who's Mary, and so on and so forth. First and foremost, as a man, as a woman, before the businessman. You guys have been on my podcast. We spend 80% of the time getting to know you as a person. Then we talk about your business. Because if me and you, we don't connect man to man, man to woman, and woman to woman, we're not going to talk, let alone do business with. But once we talk, we connect, it's going to open the doors to opportunities, opens wallets, and everything else in between. So, and this is what changed my life by the grace of the Lord. And I've been able to completely turn my life around. Podcasting blessed me in ways I can't even imagine. Building the process of very profitable and successful podcast, fast approaching 400 episodes, thriving international academy, 4-time, 5th-time, soon to be 5th-time #1 international bestselling author. I was blessed to do a TED Talk last summer here in Vietnam. I was invited at a conference a couple of months ago in Vietnam to be a speaker on podcasting. I met a man. He's hosting one of the biggest conferences in the world for entrepreneurs and digital nomads in September in the Philippines. He asked me to be a keynote speaker in September. So again, all of these as a result of this tiny little thing. And I'm tremendously, eternally grateful for all these financial blessings. But you know what is the greatest gift podcasting blessed me with? That of killing my shyness. I used to be incredibly painfully shy. How many of you can relate to that? How many of you used to be or still are incredibly shy? See? Again, for me, and now this is something I will share in much more detail here. Yes, the money is beautiful, but you know what's even more powerful? Let's say your goal is to make $1 million. Yes, it's beautiful to get the $1 million, but the greatest reward is the person you become in the process, the skills you acquire in the process, the people you meet. These are infinitely more invaluable than any amount of money or financial blessings. So again, because in the process of me killing my shyness, I've been able to find my purpose, my voice, and most importantly, identify my gifts and becoming the person I'm meant to be. So again, enough about me. Here's a link to my TED Talk. You will have access to the slides. Feel free to watch it. And yeah, so how many of you in here so far, sorry, any questions about anything I covered about my past or anything so far? So again, but one thing I want to tell you guys, if I have been able to turn things around, I didn't even start at 0. I started at -1,000 because I used to be incredibly shy, no self-esteem, not even no self, but 0 self-esteem because I used to be fat, big nose, no hair. I was incredibly shy. People that know me now, when they see me, what happened to you? Did you make a pact with the devil? Talking with confidence in front of online, going on always live, podcasting, books, and on stages. Say, no, I never made a deal with the devil and never will. I just find my purpose, my voice, my ikigai. And once you do, then you become a person you're meant to be. You become unstoppable, you know? And when I start talking, good luck shutting me up, you know? So that's me now. Some of you know me. But anyways, enough about me. Now, how many of you already have your own podcast or YouTube channel? Raise your hand. Now, the next question is it profitable? Are you getting clients to it? Raise your hand. Nobody? Okay. Is anyone here already making at least $1,000 a month or more to the podcast YouTube channel? Raise your hand. Michael? Okay. Okay. Why not? Why are you guys not getting to at least $1,000? Let me hear at least from one of you guys. One or two. Who wants to go? Mary Jane, you had a smiley. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness, nothing like putting me on the spot.
I know, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're literally right now we just literally launched it not that long ago. So yeah, probably because we don't know how. So
Okay.
hopefully that's something we're going to, we're out there and we're sharing the things that we're doing with our group, the Spirit Born Imaginings, but which has value, of course. But yeah, I guess we just don't really know how to draw in the money for something that right now feels like a passion project, and it is a passion project, but you know, I don't
Well,
see should be able to do something with it more too. So
you're in the right place, my friend. You're in the right place. By the end of this week, you will know exactly what to do. Michael.
Truly, after years of sharing online, discovering that the performer, the mask that was looking for validation, it was a gift that we didn't have any interaction because it revealed that the more we dissolve and we allow the heart to speak, it speaks the universal communication of I see you, I hear you, I feel you, and I am you beyond the words. So it's been a total game changer. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you, brother. Thank you. All right. How many of you already have currently an offer of at least $1,000 or more in your business? Raise your hand.
In my business?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, awesome. Okay. Is there anyone who still doesn't have an offer of at least $1,000 or more for the business currently? Raise your hand if you don't. We're not here to judge, we're here to help each other. Yeah, Jan. Okay, we're gonna change this by the end of this week. We're gonna change this. Is that making you excited? All right. Now, who wants to have your very own profitable podcast and or YouTube channel where you can get high ticket clients paying at least $1,000 or more each? Raise your hands. I could raise my feet. If I could even raise my feet. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, let me share with you now why podcasting is so powerful for not just your business, but most importantly for you. Wait, what happened here? Bunmi, you raised your hand?
Oh, I did this. I think it's the
Yeah. The previous question about
no, I didn't mean to raise my hand. I think it was when I
okay, to answer the question. Okay. I see. Why is this graph not showing? What happened? Maybe I need to add it again. 1 second, give me 1 second. We do it live. I had a beautiful graph here, but it's not showing. Where is it? Anyways, I want to show you a trend of how podcasting is incredibly booming. Where the hell is it? Let me stop sharing my screen 5 seconds so I can add this. I wasn't expecting this little glitch here. Okay, let me find it, upload. Bear with me, 10 seconds. Where is it? Screenshot. Oh, it should be here on my Facebook. Payment. Okay. There you go. Save image as. Okay. And let me upload this here.
We could take a beautiful breath while we wait. Just breathe.
Yes.
What a beautiful.
Apologies for that. It was working last night, but for some reason, the joys of technology.
It's all purposeful, my friend. All purposeful.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're back in business. I put it back. Okay, now it should work. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, apologies for that. Do you guys see my screen? So this is a graph that completely blew my mind. This is the amount of business that is done every day, every year through podcasting. And the crazy part is this graph is only for the US. So imagine you can multiply that by a factor of 5 to 10 if you want to get the global figures. So right now it's standing at, let's round it to $50 billion. And this year, by 2029, which is not far from now, 2.5 years from now, it's going to grow by almost 100 billion. 100 billion. Now, there's no reason that you and me and all of us and you cannot get our share of this humongous pie. Do you see how podcasting is such an incredible opportunity right now for business? Now, let's talk about making money on YouTube. And the same applies to podcasting. There's two ways to make money on YouTube. There's a traditional, what people have been doing and talking, which is I consider to be the outdated one, the slow one, which is all about vanity metrics, building a massive audience. It's all about chasing subscribers, views, downloads. It takes a massive amount of time. That works if you already are a celebrity, or if you have a massive existing audience, or if you are a world-class expert with a few PhDs after your name. And myself and most people I work with are not that. Raise your hand if you are either a celebrity, you have a massive audience, or you have a few letters after your name. Raise your hand. Nobody, right? So, and for someone that doesn't have those three things, it can literally take 3 to 5 years even to make $1,000. At the conference in March in Vietnam, when I talked, just before my talk, there was a guy from the US. He started his YouTube channel back in 2019, and he's doing the typical YouTube, which is traveling the world and documenting his journey. Now he lives in Thailand. And he proudly shared his earnings from the month of January. That was in March. His earnings from YouTube after 6 years was a grand total of $964. But he was happy because he said, at least that pays his rent in Thailand. But then when I came on stage and said, listen, you can make money on YouTube in as little as 60 days with clients paying over $1,000, people like looking at me, what, is that even legal? And that's what I'm talking about. That's a new way, the smart way, the magnetic, profitable way to make money, to leverage YouTube. And that is, you leverage YouTube for what YouTube is best. And that is to build connections, trust, to create high quality, laser focused content for one very specific person around one very specific pain point. And that's it. Once you do that, that's when you can really get a magnetic, profitable connections on YouTube. And this is what I'm going to share with you guys. How many guys are trying to make money on YouTube before? And has any one of you succeeded? So if I were to rely on the earnings from YouTube and Google, I started my channel in October of 2020, almost 5 years. If I were to rely on that, I wouldn't be even able to afford a cup of coffee a month. And I'm not joking. My channel is very small. My videos, I'm lucky if I get 50 views, but I don't care because for me, it's not about the numbers, it's about the connections. I play a completely different game. And speaking of that, why are my things not showing? What's going on here? Come on. Let me add this. Okay. Why is it not showing? Give me 1 second. I apologize for that. Okay, let me delete this. Oh, come on. Why is it not uploading? Screenshots. Is that it? I want to share with you my stats. Okay, here we go. Let me close this. Okay, share screen. Do you guys see my screen? So this is a screenshot from yesterday. As you can see, 1,486 subscribers. Very tiny audience, big results. Over 100 iTicket clients. You can go on YouTube on my channel, you will see it. 1,486. Maybe I got 1 or 2 subscribers while I was sleeping last night. But again, 100% of my clients have come through this. 100%. So again, it's not about the numbers. It's about doing YouTube and podcasting the right way. And that's what we're going to be doing this week. Why is that possible? Is that because, as I said earlier, business about one thing and one thing only. Trust. Even more so when you're dealing with iTicket. Anything over $1,000 with one thing and one thing only. Trust. Now, what's the best way to build that trust? By building rapport. What's the best way to build that rapport? By simply having heart-to-heart conversations, being authentic. And what's the best platform to do so? This, having heart-to-heart, lengthy conversation. And today's age with AI and all that, all this people being flooded with information and people being, everything being surface level, people are craving for one thing and one thing only, more than anything: authenticity, speaking from the heart, being vulnerable, being authentic. And once you speak from the heart on a podcast, have a long 40, 60-minute conversation, that's when you build the foundation. That's when you build the trust that's going to open doors and wallets. Does that make sense, guys? All right. Now, why do you think that podcasting is the best way to connect with your exact ideal audience, prospects, and clients? Why? Let's hear at least from 1 or 2 people. There's no right or wrong answers.
You invite them.
Drusella, go first.
I say you invite people who are interested in you and they are interested in what you do, and then you can collaborate.
Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely. Anyone wants to add to that?
Yeah, I think because, as you said before, Payman, it's about building relationships. It's about edifying other people. And it's really not about you. It's about, what you're doing with the person you're talking to.
Bingo. Alison, do you want a microphone and do the class instead of me?
I don't think so.
All right, I'm joking, but that's beautiful. No, beautiful answers. Absolutely. Again, it's because when someone listens to your podcast, it's for 3 main reasons. Sure, they are interested in your topic, but most importantly is because they can relate with you. They can resonate in your message. They can identify with you and your message, and they can see themselves in you. And also because, especially after this, they've been listening to you for a while, they will view you as a friend. They will like you. They will like your sense of humor, your personality. How many of you here regularly listen to podcasts and you feel like you view your favorite podcaster as a friend? How many of you? See? Again, this is why. And once you do that, I have people reaching out to me and asking me, hey, I watch your podcast, your YouTube with video with someone, and I'd love to see how we can work together. People come to you. Nowadays, I don't even have to look for guests. People refer me guests. People come to me. People find me. Because again, everybody wants to be on a podcast, regardless of the size of the podcast. When you invite someone, I want you to understand, once you invite someone on a podcast, no matter how small or big your audience is, you are doing them a favor. I want you to really memorize this. You are doing the person a favor because you are helping them elevate their status, giving them more credibility, more authority, and so on and so forth. And this is something I'm going to cover in a moment. Now, the next thing I want you to talk about is, what do you guys think is the most valuable currency in the world of business today? It's not money, and it's not time. Starts with an A, ends with an N. If I were to say goldfish, let me check this chat. Relationships, yes, that's very important. But even before you can get a chance to build a relationship, what do you need to do? Let me check the chat. Yes, Michael. Yes, yes, yes. You got it. Attention. People are bombarded with all this, reels, videos, shorts, commercials, emails, ads. How do you even stand out? How do you get that attention? The best way to get, because again, nothing can compete with a podcast, because when someone listens to your podcast, it's only you and their earbuds. Sure, they might be doing something else. They might be cooking, driving, doing the dishes, going for a walk. Even for me, sometimes I even listen to podcasts while taking a shower. So again, there's no distraction, just you and the earbuds. Do you guys see how powerful that is? It's not about the numbers, it's not about how many people listen to your podcast. It's about the right people. This is very key. It's not about, sure, it would be nice if all of us were to have a massive following like Joe Rogan. But Joe Rogan is not something he had to build that over 25 years. It was not an overnight success. Just like they say, success is an overnight success that took 20 years in the making. Same thing here. Now, this is going to be powerful, guys, because a lot of people don't even realize that. The phenomenal benefits of podcasting for you personally as a human being first. And I would venture and dare to say that the benefits of podcasting for you as a person far outweigh the benefits for your business. And let me explain that. Because your podcast is going to allow you a platform to share your story, document your journey, and in the process, you will be displaying your expertise, because you will be sharing how you've overcome whatever crap you had to overcome. In the process, making incredible friendships. The people I invite on my podcast, we become friends. The clients I get to my podcast, we become friends. We get on calls just to catch up. Hey, how's your mother? How's your wife? How's your dog? How's your brother, sister? And I've met some phenomenal friends that were connected to me just to people from my podcast. Beverly is not here tonight, but she introduced me to a man 2 years ago in Malaysia, and that man took me under his wing, former US diplomat, US military. He opened Kuala Lumpur for me. I was supposed to stay 1 week, I stayed 6 months. All of that because the people, the friends you meet in the process. Here's a very big one. You get access to people you normally wouldn't. Let's say you see someone on TV, on radio, on YouTube, or you just read a book about them, whatever, and you want to reach out to them. You say, can I call with you to pick up your brain? You would not even get a reply. Now, what if you were to reach out to them and say, hey, my name is John, my name is Renee, my name is Lynn, Norileen, and so on and so forth. I'm the host of a super duper amazing Wonder Woman podcast. I just saw something about you. I read something about you. I love what you're doing, and I would love for you to come share your story on my podcast. Using this approach, in 4 years and almost 400 episodes, I had 2 people say no to me. 2. One was a woman about to give birth. Sure, we had to reschedule the podcast, but she eventually came on the podcast. And one was a man who was about to move for work from the US to Germany. Again, we had to reschedule it. But nobody outright has ignored me or told me no. Why? Because everybody wants to be on a podcast, talk about themselves. So this is probably one of the biggest benefits for you. Is get you access to people you normally wouldn't be able to get access to. Here's another big one. In the process of you doing a podcast, you will learn so much, not only about the world, about other people, but about yourself. I lost count of how many times after listening to my episode before releasing them, I caught myself saying, wait a second, did I really say that? Sometimes when you get on conversation with people, especially on a podcast, you get in a zone and you get information almost being channeled through you. Things that you normally wouldn't say. How many of you can relate with that? When you get in a deep conversation, you say, wow, where's that coming from? Is that really me speaking? You almost get freaked out because you tap into an incredible, unlimited source of wisdom. Here's the center. This is why I put it in the center. Probably the biggest one for me. Overcome your shyness and fear of public speaking. How many of you still as shy or as a fear of public speaking? Raise your hand. Nobody is shy anymore? You guys are amazing. Wow. So again, the next one is a very big one. It's going to drastically improve your communication listening skills. Listening is key. One of my biggest pet peeve is that when I listen to a podcast and I hear all the time the host interrupting the guest. Hey, let the person finish. It's not about you. I'm interested about the person. And that's one of the biggest tips I can give you. Let the person finish. Don't interrupt them. Because the first thing I tell my guest, I'm just the host. It's not about me. You're the star. And that's why listening skill is so important, because that's why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, because we need to listen twice as much than we need to speak. Otherwise, we'd have 3 mouths, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. So again, and after you've done a few podcasts, 10, 20, 30, 50, 60, 100 plus episodes, guess what? You will have so many experiences to draw from that's going to make you a much more interesting person to talk to, and so much more wisdom to draw from. And that will allow you to connect at a much deeper level with anyone you talk to, not just on a podcast, not just on a Zoom, but even people around you, your family, your spouse, your kids, your friends, your neighbor, because you'll be able to really connect with them. Do you guys see how that works? Does it make sense? And if you put all of that together, it's going to make you, guess what? A much more powerful and charismatic leader and speaker, because you'll be able to be much more effective in listening, much more interesting to talk to, connect at a much deeper level. Guess what? That's what a leader is. That's what a charismatic person and speaker is. And of course, last but definitely not least, podcasting is very fun. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't be doing it. Nobody would be doing it. We all want to have fun. And in the process, you'll find your voice, your passion, your purpose, your reason of being here. Why you're in this lifetime? It's much bigger than just launching a little podcast. So it can really help you to really understand yourself and grow, level up in ways that are way more valuable than any amount of money. Let me check what the message is. Absolutely. A rising tide lifts all boats. Absolutely. Oh, I love that, man. This class rocks, has provoked me to go every material. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. Love that. I'm honored. Thank you, Noeline. All right, next. Let's take a look at the benefits, tangible benefits for your business and your bottom line. Of course, first and foremost, very obviously, is going to allow you to attract and connect with your exact ideal clients, prospects, audience. That's a given. And I'm going to share with you this week how to do that. With you sharing your story, guess what? You're giving a beautiful opportunity for your audience to get to know you. That's the first step in building that fundamental, indispensable, non-negotiable trust. And because of that, you'll be able to build a very deep and intimate connection with your audience in ways that no other platforms or methods will even come close to. Here's something that will leave you speechless. Every time I say it, it even gives me goosebumps. Your best clients will be your podcast listeners. Let me repeat that. Your best clients will be your podcast listener. Let me share one stat. 100%. 100% of my clients have come from my podcast, into my podcast. Again, 100%. How would you like to have a medium like this, where 100% of your clients come from one reliable, systematic platform? Isn't that amazing, guys? 100%. Here's another very powerful benefit of podcasting for your business. Not only is it going to be obviously a phenomenal lead generation machine, but more powerfully than that, it's going to be an incredible lead education machine. Because as a coach, as a mentor, as an activator, our number one task is not to sell, but to educate our audience, because we don't know what we don't know. I I have issues, problems that I don't even know I have. And that goes for all of us. So your number one task as a coach, as a mentor, as an activator is to educate your audience. What is a problem they have? What is a very specific problem they have? Why the problem exists in the first place? What's going to happen if they don't take any immediate and drastic action? And guess what? Once you educate them, make them become aware of the gravity of the issue they're having, guess what? That's going to elevate you in their minds, not just as being a leader, an expert, or an authority, but their leader, their expert, their go-to person, because you were the one that took the time to really educate them. Does that make sense, guys? This is very powerful. And of course, you can leverage your long format content for your podcast, YouTube channel for endless content like reels, highlights, quotes, a blog post, and so on and so forth. And as I mentioned just a minute ago, your podcast is going to elevate and position you as their expert, their authority, their leader, essentially their go-to guy or girl. And that's the ultimate position that we all as entrepreneurs aspire to be. You want to be known as the podcast guy, the publishing lady, or the health, whatever you do, or the AI guy. You want to become that person in the mind of your audience. This is the ultimate goal. And of course, podcasting is phenomenal for networking. Podcasting has become the new golf. As I mentioned, as I shared with you guys just a couple of screens ago, the tremendous amount of business done to connection to podcasting is off the chart. This year alone, we're approaching $50 billion, and that's in the US alone. And 2.5 years is going to be 150 billion. And that's just in the US. Worldwide, it's probably easy multiplied by 3 to 5. And last but definitely not least, it's a phenomenal launching pad for much bigger things. As I mentioned, for me, successive and profitable podcast, academy, books, public speaking, TED Talk, and so on and so forth. Do you guys see the potential of podcasting for business, guys? Put a one on the chat if you see it, and put a 2 if you are blown away. And here's the last one, but absolutely amazing. Put all of us together. It's going to drastically reduce the sales cycle of whatever you're selling. There's a common principle known as it takes 7 to 10 points of contacts from a complete stranger before they become a client. But guess what? Getting your ideal prospect on a podcast call to build that trust is going to shortcut that from 7 to 10 to maybe 1 or 2 interactions, 1 or 2 conversations on a podcast. It's going to open the doors for helping that person. That's a massive benefit. So again, podcasting, when done the right way, is a game changer for businesses, not just for businesses, but also for you, because it'll allow you to level up. Do you guys know this guy, Russell Brunson? Co-founder of ClickFunnels, a multi-billion-dollar company. Anyways, one of the smartest marketing geniuses out there. Here's a powerful quote he mentioned. Music and radio listeners make on average $60,000 a year, while podcast listeners make on average double, $120K. Why do you guys think that is? Nothing wrong with music. I love music. I listen to music all the time. But what is it that makes podcast listeners on average make twice as much as people that don't listen to podcasts? Who wants to take a go at it? There's no right or wrong answers. Let me check with the chat. Okay. Oh, yes, Renee. Yeah. Absolutely. The growth you get from podcasts, this acknowledge improvement. Absolutely. It's because people who listen to podcasts, the majority of cases, they're more successful. And people are more successful, they're more focused, they have more clarity, they know what they want. And because they're successful, they have clarity, they make more money. and they understand the power and the need of investing in themselves, self-development, and they're much more willing and able to invest in themselves and invest in programs that me and you offer. And because they understand that, guess what? They will be able to make more money. Does it make sense, guys? Awesome. As I mentioned earlier, your podcast listeners will be your best clients, is because they will have that trust. They will see you as a friend. They will have this connection, support with you that non-listeners do not have. So this is why, again, you don't need a massive audience. You just need the right audience. And when you get the right audience, and that's what we're going to dive deeper tomorrow and the rest of the week, one very specific person, one very specific pain point. That's a goal. That's a ticket. That's it. So now, let's do some brainstorming together before we end today's call. What do you want to achieve to your profitable podcast and YouTube channel? Let's hear at least one or two people. Who wants to go first? Let me check with the chat. Oops. The chat. Okay. Thank you, Jan. Okay. Yes, Allison, go ahead, my friend.
So I would really love to reach out to people through my podcast to let them know some of the things that we talked about in the chat, but also in our introductions, that whatever you've been through is actually part of your superpower. Whatever you've been through is actually part of what makes you unique and what makes you resilient. Because if you hadn't come through it on the other side, well, you wouldn't be here. And so the more, and as I say, people can't be what they can't see. So the more we can showcase people who've been through the ringer, people like Michael and Renee who really have lived experience that they can talk to people about, and people can see that you can come through the other side. I think that is a really powerful message. And that's something I would love to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, the right. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, to acknowledge both the speaker and also the audience. Sorry, Payman.
No worries. You're absolutely right place. Love that. And this is what we're going to explore all week long. Anyone else wants to share their answer, their goal? Bunmi, go ahead.
Yeah, I would like people to know that there is nothing as impossible when it comes to their health and when it comes to what they're looking to achieve. Because when they hear other people's stories, they will relate to those stories and then feel that this can be done, and they want to sort you out.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you. All right. Next, I want to leave you with 4 foundational questions. You're welcome to share them here, but this is mostly for you. Because one thing I want you guys to really understand is that this is not, please don't view this as entertainment. I want you to really take this seriously and do actually the assignments, the action steps, because this has the power to literally change your business or even give you a business in the first place and ultimately help you level up your life. So please take this seriously and ask yourself truthfully these questions. The deeper you go, the more with more clarity you answer these to yourself, the more you're going to increase your chances of actually succeeding. The first question is, why do you want to launch your podcast, your profitable podcast and YouTube channel now? Followed by, where are you now in your business? What do you want to achieve in your business? And what's holding you back from achieving that goal? Does anyone want to share their answer? 1 or 2 sentences? At least 1 or 2 people? And I would invite you guys to share your answers in the Facebook group so that we can all learn from each other and also to get inspired. And maybe we can see some opportunities to collaborate and help each other. Who wants to share their answers? Michael, go ahead, brother.
Well, there's many reasons, but the main reason is consciousness.
Okay.
There's so many people that are distracted looking outside of themselves that they forget the greatest intelligence is not AI, is presence.
Mm-hmm.
And we give so much of our attention of living in the future or trying to fix the past that we're never really there with ourselves. And to bring a podcast that really is a transmission of reminding them that what they listen to is really themselves
Mm-hmm.
and reminding them to tune into themselves is to reawaken the frequency of feeling is to reawaken the frequency of inner knowing because they start to trust and tune into that intelligence.
Yeah.
And to be able to have a platform for that is like they say is, you know, to live beyond your life as the elders lived.
Yeah.
That most people don't realize that the elders made a decision
Mm-hmm.
together as a tribe of how it would affect humanity 7 generations from now. But we live
Awesome.
in a society where what am I going to get today? What am I going to get tomorrow? What am I going to get next month? And we don't realize the impact that we're invisibly making for generations to come. So to bring that awareness through the podcast, I mean, I'm even humbled to be able to say this because this was not a dream that I could even ever imagine. And now it's a reality. So to be a part of other people, other mirrors shattering the illusion that we're separate,
Mm-hmm.
coming together and showing how united humanity truly is,
Yes.
like there's nothing like it.
Thank you, Michael. That's beautiful. Love that. Love that. Love that. Thank you. Lynn.
I am not interested in starting a podcast. It's a lot of work and it's not the work I want to be doing. I want to help people be the best podcast guests that they are capable of being. And part of that is helping them find the power within their own unique voices and finding the stories that they can share to make their business shine.
Okay.
So as far as where am I in my business right now, I'm kind of at ground level. I've been coasting there for too long and I need to start elevating it.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want to do in my business is help people find their voice. I was silenced for so many years and I've discovered the power of my voice. I want other people to discover that power too and to rock it. And podcast is one of those ways where they can share their voice.
Love that. Love that. Love that. And I will share this week that, contrary to popular belief, it doesn't take a lot of time to launch a podcast. So awesome. Thank you. Next, Josella.
Thank you all for all your shares and
Welcome.
the impactful work you do. I want to launch my podcast because the message I have is a unique message,
Mm-hmm.
and I do not want to die with it. And our brilliance, our uniqueness, our legacy, you never know when you share a story, you see how we have been moved by your own story. And this is what I was telling my friend Shermalyn when we talk about being visible, being branding yourself, and that you don't beg a stage. So in our days, we pay to play. You pay
Yes.
money to go to play. But when you have your audience, it's you, and then you attract many other people on your podcast. And then where I am now, as I said, I was shifting. I think I was waiting for the right time because I feel like now I want to share how faith plays in business. So this is where my calling is now, and this is where I want to direct my podcast to. And what I want to achieve in my business is to have more and help more. So I think with the podcast, I will talk to many people will know about me, and then I can share the message that can comfort and encourage others. And what holding me back, I think it was that time of shifting and pivoting. But I think now I see the direction where I want to go.
Love that. Love that. Love that. One thing that you said that really gave me goosebumps is that I don't want to die with my story, my gifts inside of me. And the last thing that we need to be greedy with, the three things that we cannot be greedy with: one, laughing and smiling; two, being a good human being; and three, being greedy with our gifts. Our gifts are not meant to be kept inside, they're meant to be shared so we can all collectively learn and rise together. So I love that. Gave me goosebumps. Thank you. Budmi, you raise your hand.
Yes. So the reason I want to launch my podcast is I believe this is the best way for me to reach people that want to know how I was able to resolve my issues. There are many people dying, to find solution to this. And also, it will help me find people that can help those who cannot even afford to go through this route of what I did.
Yes.
So me being on a podcast, it's letting my guards down to be able to talk directly to people, as opposed to being either on TV, on an interview where I'm all wound up trying to feel perfect or not to make any errors. There, I'm like just anybody else.
Yes.
Let loose. That's why I want to do
Beautiful.
that.
I love that. One thing I just want to add that you said is very powerful and important for all of us to understand and realize, that you mentioned TV. Let's say that once you get to go on TV, that's beautiful. But at most, you only get 1 or 2 minutes, unless you're some big shot, you know? So in 1, 2 minutes, you're not going to be able to really go deep in sharing your gifts. However, on a podcast, especially your profile podcast, your YouTube channel, you can take all the time you need, and you're basically literally creating your own TV network, because YouTube is replacing TV. More and more people are going away from TV and cable, and instead watching videos on YouTube. So again, that's beautiful. Thank you. Does anyone else wants to share their answers? Let me check the chat. The energy, Renee, energy of this powerful group is so calming and empowering. I felt so grateful to be. Oh, absolutely love that. Thank you. Same here. And there was proof. Yes, absolutely. Drusella, very beautiful, powerful. I'm ready to show up for the world and the mirror, and as the world is ready for me to guide them with my voice, how to end the suffering and activate their belief. Preach, sister, preach. I love that. Love that, Renee. Thank you for sharing. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, let's move on. We're almost done. Some common reasons that most people are not starting the podcast. These are some of the most common I noticed when I first started, and still 5 years later, still the same issues. 3 reasons why. I don't know how to start. I'm not a techie. I don't know how to get the right people in my podcast and how to grow it. And I would add a fourth one: I don't have the time. How many of you guys can relate with any of these? Raise your hand if you can relate. And specifically, which one?
All of them.
All of them. All right. Okay. Bunmi. Yes, 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 yes.
All of them.
Awesome. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Now, here's some other common reasons to not start a podcast. These are much more deeper, and they're hurtful, because I was suffering from these as well. These are the false narrative, the false belief, limiting belief that we all used to have. Who am I? Who's going to listen to me? I'm a nobody. My story doesn't matter. I'm not an expert in anything. I'm not a celebrity. And so on and so forth. We tend to underestimate ourselves and not view ourselves for the beautiful gifts that we are. How many of you can relate with these? I can definitely relate with all of these. Yes, yes, yes. All right. But then it's not about you. The good news is not about you. It's about sharing your gifts, because guess what? Your story matters, your voice matters, and most definitely you matter. We all matter. All of you guys have been blessed with incredible, incredible stories. I heard quite a few of you guys say that what you went through, that's your gold. And that's my favorite saying, your crap is your gold, or your message. Nothing happens to you but for you. And now it's our time to share those gifts with the world. The good news is that a profitable podcast can be launched in 3 easy steps. And I'm going to share that with you guys over the next few days, especially on Thursday. I'm going to be giving you my proven blueprint, A to Z, how to launch your profitable podcast in 3 easy steps. Step 1, which is foundation, which is what we're going to be doing over the next 3 days. The tech all on Friday, and the launch the tech on Thursday and the launch on Friday. So the action step for today. What is your number 1 objective for your podcast? I want you guys to write down in 1 sentence inside the Facebook group your answer. And I want you to go as deep as possible, because the more clarity you have, the more magnetic your message will be, and the more profitable your podcast will be. And share it, please, because this way, not only will we learn from each other, but also maybe we'll see some opportunities for some of us to collaborate together. So share your answers in the Facebook group. So congratulations. Thank you for staying this late. We're done for today. Here's a sneak peek into tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to be starting the brainstorming about your podcast, your YouTube channel. We're going to be looking at what is your zone of genius. That's going to be the central core principle where everything's going to be built upon. What is your zone of genius? What is your true gift? What is your core expertise and skill set? That's what we're going to be diving into tomorrow. And that's going to show us, once we identify what is the zone of genius, you will know what is the number 1 pain point you can solve and for who. And ultimately, what is your podcast, your profitable podcast and YouTube channel is going to be about. So that's for tomorrow. Thank you for your time. One last question. Do you guys prefer to interact on Facebook or on WhatsApp? With the UK group and all that, we've done WhatsApp group, which is much more intimate. What about you guys? I can definitely start a WhatsApp group. Really up to you guys.
Either or. Either or for me. Thank you, Payman.
Okay. All of them. So if you want, okay, Facebook, Lynn Facebook, BOOOOMING Facebook. Okay, so we'll keep it on Facebook. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for your time today. Any questions? Any comments, any compliments, especially about my hair? Alison,
I love you. Mine is just very much about logistics. Are there going to be replays? Because I'm
Yes.
definitely going to be looking tomorrow
Yes.
in the Facebook group.
Make
Awesome.
sure you
Thank
watch tomorrow, because tomorrow and Wednesday are going to be the central, most powerful days of the week.
Okay. Another question. Is it too late for people to join now?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
Absolutely not. So
cool.
invite your friends, because again, I want to bring this knowledge, this gift with as many people as possible, because podcasting completely changed, transformed, and saved my life. Now I'm on a mission to enlighten, to inspire, empower, and uplift as many people as possible. So please invite them over. Sorry, when I said Wednesday and Thursday, for us in Asia, it's the next day, Thursday and Friday. So 1 day over. It's Tuesday morning here for us in this part of the world. So yes, bring them on. Any questions, guys? Questions,
Thank you.
comments?
Shalmarine, I wanted to thank Shalmarine for accepting my invitation.
Indeed. Yes. Thank you for being here, Mary.
You're welcome. Thanks to you for
Charmaline.
the
Yes.
invite.
That's a beautiful name. Very unique. Wow. Awesome. Renee, any question?
You're reading my mind. Not a question, but I just want to say thank you so much. Like, your energy is really beautiful. I've been on a lot of trainings and I just felt like I've really connected with your energy and the essence of who you are, and just connecting with everybody else here. Like, I just feel like I'm in the right place. You know, that feeling where it's like, it just feels really aligned. Like, and I'm really grateful to hear everybody's stories and connect in, and how incredible everybody is. And when I can see how incredible you are, I realize that in myself. So thank you, everyone. I'm looking forward to going on this journey with everyone.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your trust, for spending your Tuesday morning, Tuesday after. Well, it's early afternoon for you. So thank you. Let me see. Noeline. Sorry, go ahead, Drusilla.
I wanted to thank you, Payman, because you have an open heart.
Pleasure all mine.
You are always inviting, giving, and offering. So I have known other leaders who have those podcasts, but they don't invite you, they don't encourage you to come and share your story. And you are so generous and charismatic. Thank you.
Pleasure's all mine. Pleasure's all mine. Listen, this is what I do. This is what my brand is called Leaders with a Heart.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
That's right.
so it's all about the heart. Sure, we all need to make money, but let's do so in a way that's meaningful, impactful,
Yeah.
and no-brainer for all of us. So for me to win doesn't mean I have to screw you. We can all win together. Let's win together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eileen, thank
Can
you
I
for
can I
being
add to
here.
that, payment?
1 second,
Oh, go
Michael.
ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
Eileen,
Go
do you have
ahead.
any question? I'll get you Michael right after.
Yeah.
I actually agree with the last lady. When you've got a heart, see, I know what my mission is, and that my mission is to promote human flourishing. And so what I hear in a nutshell with everybody's story combined is we all want to make an impact. Whatever that message is for you, we all want to contribute and we all want to make an impact. And that's what I got from listening to everybody and listening to your story too, Payment, is we just want to make a difference and let our message land somewhere with someone who resonates and who will be inspired and encouraged by what we've been through or what they're going through and come out the other side a complete person. And so, yes, thank you, Payman. Thank you.
Pleasure's all mine. I just want to piggyback on that. And sure, we all go through our fair share of pain, trauma, abuse, tragedy, betrayal, heartbreak, struggles. Sure,
Yeah.
it hurts tremendously when you go through that. But guess what? That becomes your
Yeah.
story. Then your story becomes
Yes.
your gifts. Then your gifts
Yes.
become your duty and responsibility to share them because sure, life is a school. We come here to learn, grow, become wiser and better. But from my humble understanding, that's only 5% of what we are here for. The 95% is take those gifts, share them with others first, embrace them loud and proud, and then share them even loud and proud around you and around the world to whatever means more natural for you. For me, it's through speaking in my books. For someone else, might be through music, painting, sports, acting. Find your outlet. Share your gift because, again, your gifts are the last thing that you can be greedy with. That's my message.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Yes.
Michael, brother.
Thank you.
Oh, one thing that I wanted to add is because we've all manifested clients before, and we see that when we manifest from the head, we have to go through more shadow work.
Yes.
So when you manifest from the heart, it's just flow, connection, and just abundance. Because real abundance is not how much money you make. Real abundance is how much heart you open up and how much heart you recognize in another person, where
Yeah.
you don't even realize you're working with someone. You just get lost in yourself and you're like, wait a minute, this is so me. Like I'm talking to myself. That to me is the greatest abundance, is to realize that the illusion was that we were separate, that the more we work together, it's like we want to support each other, just like you said earlier, Payment. And that's why I love coming back. I mean, this is my fourth time here, and I love coming back because it's not like, what am I going to get? Like, what can I give? And
Yeah.
when we change that field of that frequency of the language, like I was commenting earlier, like the language that we're not learning, we're remembering is what the ancients lived. They all said we were one. This wasn't just a beautiful quote. They didn't see themselves above or below. That was just people that wrote books because they didn't understand what can only be understood in the heart. The ancients knew that we were one. They uplifted whole communities and they never left their families. Do we realize how powerful that is? Like they
Right.
never left home. Do you know what it takes to stay in one family? Can you imagine a community? You talk about oneness.
Yes.
This is what we are realizing. This is what we are manifesting. So I just got chills all over. I love you all
Yes.
because
Same
I
here.
love all that is, and I cannot not love because there's only love. Thank you. Thank you, Payman. That message was for you, but it was for all of us because we're truly
Thank you,
all in
brother.
the heart. I love that.
Love you, brother. Thank you. Love your
Love you.
passion. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Any more comments, questions, anything?
Can I
Well,
just make one more comment? And that is, I won't be going to the gym tomorrow because I'm not missing out anything.
Good. I love that. I love that. I love that.
You know, there's so much you see on social media, and you look at a lot of people, you're like, is this person for real? Is it another, one of those? But when I saw your ad, your promotion on Facebook, and you were talking with another lady. I was like, this guy feels real.
You remember the lady's name?
No, because I didn't watch it from the beginning.
Ah,
Yeah, I didn't watch it from the beginning, and I was like, this guy. I'm talking about you, Payman. You that seems so real. That I can relate. It's like very welcoming, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna cancel what I'm supposed to do
wow,
this
chills.
evening. I need to, I need to listen to this. Sometimes, things talk to you, but we don't listen. But lately, I've been paying more attention to things. And when I saw yours, I was like, no, this I think I need to be here today. And I am so glad and I'm thankful, that I'm here, and thankful that, everybody that is here, they feel genuine.
Yes.
And that's what makes it so real. Now I feel like, yes, I believe I can do this.
Oh, absolutely. And first of all, thank you so much for the beautiful words. They mean the world to me. I'm honored that we connected. I graciously, gracefully, and gratefully claim all the beautiful words you say. For me, it's all about inspiring, empowering. My business and my life changed. I should have said that in the beginning when I said my story. The moment I switched from profit, profit, profit to service, service, service. Once you build your business around helping, serving, and inspiring, empowering, uplifting, guess what? Money takes care of itself. It magically, naturally shows up in ways you don't even understand. Sometimes I have to pinch myself. Like, for example, a TED Talk, completely out of the blue. The invitation to do a talk 2 months ago, and then at that conference, I meet someone that's hosting an even bigger conference. I had a chat with them. I had him on a podcast 2 weeks ago, and next thing you know, says, "Hey, why don't you do a not just a talk, but a keynote speech?" Sorry. I said, "Yes, let's do it." So again, it's all about saying yes. The one thing that's always the biggest thing, at least for me, I don't know if you guys can relate with, that's stopping us. It's not only the story we tell ourselves, but overthinking, us getting into our own way, you know? And what we need to do is take imperfect action and saying yes to stepping up, saying yes to life, to opportunities, because once you say yes to one little thing, it starts a snowball effect, new opportunities, new doors. Even if you may not see the end goal, just take that first proverbial leap of faith. Trust the universe, surrender, and I swear to you guys, the right people, the right circumstances, the right opportunities will magically, maybe not fall on your lap. The TED Talk literally fell on my lap, but they will make themselves present. You will see them. So just want to say that. And anyways, gonna start talking.
Payment. Can I say
Please, go
one
ahead.
more thing? You just opened up a can of worms, and I'm just gonna say this
Oh God.
because I was saying, should I stay
Whoops.
quiet or should I share? So I was guided to open up. And one thing that I want to say is like just reflection of how far you've all come. Think about what life you lived in paranoia, whatever paranoia that
Yes.
was. And the world is in such paranoia right now that you are needed. Like every single one of you are needed. Not needed to go save the world, but needed because you're pronoia, which pronoia means that Einstein said we can live two ways. Live as if the world is against us in paranoia, or we can live, and this is the greatest truth, that the universe is for us. Because in nature, universe is for itself. In the wild, it thrives. In the cells in the microverse, life thrives. Why do we think we're an exception? Where do we ever fall for that illusion? So we don't need to go study books. Just look at life, look at our own life, and we will see that, like, the simplicity. Why did we ever fall for this illusion? Because you had to go through what you went through so that you can show people how simple it is to just take a breath, tune in, and remember and return. I'll stop there. But
Yeah.
Payman, thank you so much for this opportunity. No more speaking from me because we could be here all day. Payman and I, we can be on for hours, and I'm sure we can all be here for hours.
Yes.
So thank you,
Yes.
everyone.
Thank
You
you.
are all beautiful.
Love you all. Listen, if you have no more question, let's call it a day or night. And please keep an eye on the Facebook group, because that's what I'm going to be sharing, not only the links for the calls for the rest of the week, but also replays, slides, resources, news, updates, and so on and so forth. If you haven't connected with me yet, please connect, and let's all co-create magic together. Let's bring your gifts to life, and let's open doors for you guys to share your gifts so you can inspire as many people as possible in the process, be handsomely rewarded by universe in forms of a boatload of money for all of us. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Love you all. See you
Thank
tomorrow,
you.
same
Good night.
time. Take care. Bye-bye. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.